remembering it and writing it down, they're not sleeping. So it's a different state of mind.
I mean, there is some truth to what Chase is saying. There is.
No shit there. I love how
mind,
Allison has to justify what I'm saying.
No, I'm not justifying what you're saying. I'm saying you're partly right, but I think with the soft sciences, me being not an expert but knowledgeable, you don't have any other choice if you want to study these things. But
exactly,
of course, but that's why it's not a science. That's why it's
that's
just
why it's called a soft science. And
so all of
what they can every single year to improve upon the data that they can collect, but to a degree, it is going to be qualitative material.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I would love to be able to fucking Inception and like go into people's dreams and just fucking hang out and see what they're doing, and then
you can
write it all down.
If there's lucid dreams, you can do that.
No, you can't. That's so totally different.
Oh, now I'm the weirdo. Now I'm the fucking weirdo that doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about.
I'm saying I can't go into your dreams and collect the data. I'm saying that would be the ideal way to do it.
Have you tried?
I have not tried to go into your dreams, no.
Okay, well, try.
Oh, okay. I'll work on that this week.
Please do, because they're fucked up. They are fucked up.
Now, I do want to talk some more about lucid dreaming here in a little bit, but it doesn't allow me to go into your dreams, unfortunately.
Okay.
Unless I'm dreaming about going into your dreams, and then,
You should be.
But, yeah, Allison kind of alluded to it a little bit, but dreams do also play, potentially debatable, according to Chase, significant role in the manifestation of trauma symptoms and are useful diagnostic criteria for mental health disorders such as post-traumatic stress disorder.
Yeah. Okay, so let's get this straight though, because I believe in that, but I don't want to be the person that doesn't believe in like nightmares and like PTSD nightmares and all that stuff. Don't peg me as the person that doesn't believe in that.
Well, you clearly don't. You don't think people can remember anything about their dream.
I don't think that you can remember, but I still think they exist, and you just peg me as the person that doesn't believe that PTSD exists. That's what you just pegged me as.
You're trying to have it both ways. You can't have it both ways.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll have it one way then. So you go ahead and corner me whatever you want, and then I'll be that guy.
How are dreams this debatable? I thought this was going to be
I don't know.
Peaceful episode.
Jesus. We're going out with a bang here.
I have a lot of... But what's strange is I have a story. I have a story about how one of my dreams, I saw the future. So...
Okay, well, let's come back to that one.
Your fucking story about it, yeah.
All right, so I was talking about diagnostic criteria for mental health disorders. There was this professor at Tufts University, Ernest Hartman. He studied the content of dreams and how it related in this way, but basically he says that the mind takes what is new or troublesome and blends it into what the brain already knows, basically making the new information seem less novel or threatening. He argues in some of his work that the life of basically Neanderthal, early man, was filled with all kinds of trauma. So this was like a survival of the fittest type of evolutionary thing where these cavemen watched friends get gored by animals or fall in holes and, get stuck in ice and all kinds of shit, right? So basically the people that were able to regain their emotional balance after living through these traumatic events were more likely to survive over the long run versus those who always dwelled on the negative. So he's kind of essentially theorizing that these dreams are a way to help people deal with these traumatic events. And so he points to the fact that the mind has a tendency to replay scary or difficult experiences in dreams almost exactly as they happen in real life for several nights after the event. But, for some people, the brain gets stuck replaying the traumas, like a band that only knows one song.
Ooh, good one.
So when the brain fails to set aside the event in its long-term memory, a person may experience recurring nightmares, which is one of the hallmarks of post-traumatic stress disorder.
Well, I agree with that though. That's the paradox of dreaming, because I agree with that, but I don't think there's like whatever. I agree with that.
You agree with that, but you don't think they can understand what they're dreaming?
No, I agree that your brain can play back traumatic events or nightmarish events, but I don't necessarily think that they can recreate events that haven't happened that are going to happen. If that makes sense. I understand that your brain captures those moments that are completely traumatic, that are completely nightmarish, and they're going to play those back. I just don't. If you're telling me that you lived this and then you had a dream about this, that's a lot more mesmerizing to me than it is. I saw fucking Adam and Chase hugging in the basement. There was an alien on the bed, and that's never happened before. And I believe the PTSD person that has lived that a lot more than I believe the person that has not lived us hugging with an alien on the bed.
So you think people can only dream about stuff they've experienced?
I believe this is where we're getting into a deep question. I believe that people can dream of things their imagination wants them to dream of, but I don't think that's entirely accurate as to what dreams represent, if that makes sense.
I don't know if that makes sense. No.
All right, so listen,
How do
there's
dreams
two.
fit into simulation theory for you, just in a nutshell.
Well, they don't fit into simulation.
What do you mean they don't? Oh, okay. Hold on here. How can they? So if we're in a simulation,
No.
So you've already acknowledged that we dream. Now you also acknowledged in a previous episode that we're in a simulation, and now you're saying that dreams don't fit into simulation theory. You've just said those things don't coexist. So help us unpack that.
Well, you obviously still don't understand simulation theory, because what happens in simulation theory is that they create code to create us. The code to create us doesn't necessarily dictate what we do on a regular basis, or what we think on a regular basis, or what we dream on a regular basis. So we can exist in a simulation without them programming our dreams, without them programming our thoughts, without them programming any of this, and it's not a valid argument as to whether or not we live in a simulation or not.
So the dreams are new
The dreams
data
are-
sets that are organic and grow from within the original.
You can say it exactly like that. They are, regardless of what they come from, they are just random pieces of data that exist in your brain somewhere that try to formulate something when you sleep. The sleep time is when you're not thinking about anything else, when those thoughts come together, and then they just disappear.
What the fuck are you talking about?
I don't think this is. I don't think it's unclear, right?
I don't think you're making any sense.
I don't understand how it doesn't make any sense. So listen, are we talking about simulation theory? Or are we talking about dreams? Because those two things are entirely different. I feel like you're asking me to explain dreams inside of simulation theory.
Yeah,
which
because
is
if we're in a
simulation and we're talking about dreams, they have to coexist.
Yeah, exactly.
No, but if we're going back
Yes.
to but if we're the dreaming part of simulation theory is not the same way that I would explain simulation theory, because simulation theory exists on a different plane than what dreaming exists as, right? Okay, so listen. All right, hear me. We're going into an entirely different ball game here. This
No.
is like
We can
So
say
she
that
initially
I
asked you
said
for
they
a
have to
brief
coexist.
explanation.
Nutshell.
But
I can't give you a
How
brief explanation of dreams.
if you believe
inside of I
simulation
don't-
theory, you
I
have to
just
be able
told
to
you-
explain how dreams fit into that.
if you believe in dreaming the way that you guys believe in dreaming.
No, dreaming happens.
Yes.
Dreaming is
happens
real.
in the sense dreaming happens. We're getting off topic here, but dreaming happens in the same sense that the RAM of your computer happens, right?
The
You
RAM
have-
the RAM doesn't happen, it's there.
Listen, hear me out a second, because this is going to make sense here in 2 minutes.
Is it?
I promise.
Oh, 2 minutes. Jesus.
2 to 17 minutes. So so we have if we are created by computers, okay? And our brains are the RAM of if you compare our brains to the RAM of a laptop, the reason that the RAM of a laptop can work is because it constantly holds things in limbo when it's needed, when it's not needed, and then when it's not needed, it drops it and then continues to hold things when it's needed. That's the way that I still feel about dreaming, is that our brain holds things in it until it's not needed anymore, i.e. when we're sleeping. When we're sleeping, it just dumps everything that it has in its brain. It sometimes comes out as a fluid moment of, oh, this is fucking creepy shit. There's an alien laying on this bed. Adam and Chase are hugging each other. Or it comes out as like...
Is this a real dream you had? Because you keep going back.
Yeah, I have these dreams all the time. But also, it's also just a random dream of like just shapes and colors and nothing or nothing. So I feel like the same way that our brain reacts to dreams is the same way that RAM reacts to data. And rant.
Okay, I mean, I follow what you're saying. I still think, to me, that you have a missed opportunity here. That dreaming actually, I think, could help your argument for simulation theory. But
I didn't think we were fucking talking about. I thought we were talking about goddamn dreams. I didn't think we were talking about simulation theory.
We are, but I figured you'd be able
Jesus
to sell
Christ.
it more. So yeah, we've gotten a little sidetracked, but let's hear about this dream you've got. Why don't you tell us about it? That you're excited.
Yeah,
to
but
tell
here's
us.
the thing. I know the conclusion to my dream, and that's so it's almost. I will compare it to like a psychic dream. Okay.
So this is a prophecy.
You had a premonition.
A prophetic
premonition.
dream.
Premonition.
Okay. Whatever you want to call it. So I had a dream that I was standing in the middle of a road. Okay.
Okay.
And then
A 2-lane
there
or
was-
4-lane highway?
not relevant.
A small dirt road.
No, it's just a road. It's not relevant if it's whatever road it is.
See, if you would have written down this dream, you would have remembered. some of
I
these
didn't.
details.
I didn't
Shut up,
feel
let
at the
me go.
time that I needed to write down this dream, but I'm standing in the middle of a road. There is a person. So this person plays a huge role in this dream, but I'm not gonna say who it is or what it is. But
But you know them.
I know them.
Okay.
I'm standing in the middle of the road. This person is circling around me on a antique-ish bike, just circling around me, like making loops on the bike while I'm just standing there.
Okay.
And this person, she is telling me that all of these stories, and then she tells me how she chose to break up with this person because they didn't want to get married. And then I don't think anything of it. I wake up and go throughout my day. My wife texts me and said that these people broke up, and I said why, and they said, well, one of them didn't want to get married, and it happened to be those two people or that couple in my dream. That's the reason that they're no longer together, and I didn't know that until Aaron texted me. So the night before this all happened, or the night of it happening, or whenever it happened on their timeline, it also happened in a dream of mine, and so I don't know.
So I feel like this dream was just your subconscious telling you something that you had observed. This was someone you knew.
No,
You'd been
okay.
around. You'd presumably been around them as a couple.
Yeah, but so I don't know how to explain this without. I don't want to divulge too much. Like I don't.
So I'm saying that you've been around them. You've seen them interact with each other. You've had discussions with them. So subconsciously, you've picked up vibes that this was what was going to happen. And so your dream just manifested those subconscious feelings in a way that ended up being like prophetic. But I think that's how I would theorize it.
I wouldn't disagree with you. However, in the same note that this person also told Aaron the same day that, hey, I got news for you, and Aaron thought, oh, you guys are engaged. And they're like, no, we broke up. So I don't know. I don't know that if this is a story we should even fucking include in the podcast. 'Cause I don't know if these fuckers listen to the podcast at all. But I think from my observation, everything was fine. So I don't think I would have ever made the leap in my dreams.
No, I'm saying unconscious or subconsciously.
But
you
subconsciously,
picked up on things.
but I don't think I ever maybe. But that makes me
A psychic
an expert
vampire.
at